Hey guys, JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new one in from Ferramonster that I have not yet checked out, but I'm really excited that I got this one in. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, we have the Aurora Rays from Ferramonster, and this is an absolutely stunning knife. I can't believe I've waited this long to check it out. It absolutely lives up to the hype for me. Man, what a flex and beautifully executed flex by Ferramonster on this one. You got a geared backspacer. You got titanium scales here that you can see have the sun rays coming out of the pivot. And it's just absolutely stunning. Like, I almost feel like I could end the review here just showcasing this this model. Beautiful jimping here. It is a flipper only. I know that's going to turn a lot of you off, but they did a good job getting it above the pivot. So I do appreciate that. Hopefully you're able to see that it is above the pivot, and they got excellent jimping on here, and they tuned the detent really well. Beautiful hand rubbed satin finish. I think this is a finish that a lot of people overlook because they like the hot, trendy belt satin finish, which is nice. I'm not going to knock it. I think people are tired of the blasted for sure. So I think this is a nice alternative to see that. I think it's a nice premium looking touch on there. Beautiful spear point, drop point, spear point. You have it looks spear point. That's why I do that, but the tip is below the pivot here. It is a drop point with a spoon on it, so harpoon shape. M390 is your blade steel. Good geometry on here. It is a little bit more of a stubbier edge on here. I'd like to see this get closer to 20 and move away from the 24 that it looks like it's at. And that is just eyeballing it. I could be wrong. It could be because this is such a thin blade stock that it just looks like that. When you do a thinner stock and you try to lay it back because it's already thin, you know, it does kind of make it deceptive. It could be closer to 20 than I realized. It is hollowed out, so this does have a great weight to it. Minimal construction on here. Non-reversible clip, and I think I get it with the way that this is designed. I think you could make a left-handed version if there is enough demand for these in a lefty. And it does have a nice milled titanium pocket clip, but I will disclose I am running a shim in here. When I tried to put this in my jeans, it was a little thick and it was getting stuck about midway, so not quite enough clearance. And I think that has to do more with the actual ray pattern here, so it's raised and lowered, than it does anything else. I think that's what's creating the issue. It's not like perfectly flat, because my other Ferramonsters that have just, you know, a regular scale that doesn't have this milling on there, they go in the pocket a little tight, a little tight. I'm not going to make it sound like it's got major clearance and it goes in smoothly. You do got to kind of push or wiggle it down in there. So this one here, I think with that milling on the pattern, that pattern milled into the scales, what I'm trying to say, that is what I think caused the issue. So I got a little shim in here, not as noticeable on this side as it is on this side. From this side, you can start to see the little gap from the shim in there because it also matches perfectly where it is chamfered around that edge. Good access to the lock bar. You got ceramic bearings in the pivot. This one here is very tight toleranced, and you can see here perfectly centered. Firing on that detent, access to that lock bar is good, and the action, it is smooth, but it's more of like a 3 shake home if you're going to be a gentle shake, and then just 2 quick shakes if you're going to be doing more of a medium shake on there. I'm able to get 4 fingers on here. Hallelujah. Thank you, Ferramonster. Even though it's not like a bruiser, it is a knife that I can carry. If you have smaller hands, you're going to have just a little bit left hanging out, not horribly offensive, and it is very comfortable in the hand. Took it down to the garage to do a little bit of cutting with it, and it had a good factory edge going through catalog paper. It moved nicely through the cardboard, which I really like to see that it was able to do that. And even though it is a drop point, it does have a lower tip on that drop point, so it is able to do those detailed cuts very nicely. The M390 stropped right up and was really slicey after a good strop. I would probably say if you get yours out of the box, go ahead, just do a little quick pass on the ceramic rod a couple of times on either side, and then maybe just 2 or 3 strops on either side. And I think this thing would really be good to go. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons and we'll weigh the knife. All right, we got the Manix 2 lightweight out and we got the Benchmade bug out. It is a little bit longer, but I think that's just because of the design, like it's coming to a tip and it's coming to a point. I think they're very comparable to these sizes, but closer to the Manix 2 than it is the bug out. I got a couple more that I would like to share for a size comparison, and then we'll grab that scale and we will weigh the Aurora Rays. Oh, that's a mouthful. All right, I got a couple out here. One you haven't seen in a little while. I thought I'd break it out just for fun. We have the Archer, which I think is very comparable, and then we got the Quiet Carry 9, which is a little bit smaller, but still in the ballpark, I feel like, as far as the size goes. Let me get these two out of the way. We're going to grab that scale and we're going to check the weight on the Aurora Rays. All right, got the scale out and on, guys. Let's go ahead and check the weight on the Aurora Rays. We are coming in at 3.9 ounces. Actually, a little surprised by that. I was thinking this was going to be closer to 3.5. I know 4 isn't a big difference from that, but it doesn't feel like a 4-ounce knife. It feels like it's kind of more on the cusp of being closer to 3 ounces. So I was a little surprised by that. I don't know if my shim is doing anything. I doubt it to add to the weight of that. I don't think these skiffs that are in here are really doing anything to that either. But there you go, closer to 4 ounces than I thought it was going to be. Let me get the scale out of here. We'll go ahead and wrap up with my final thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, so what do I think about this one? I grade on a scale of 1 to 10, first and foremost, 10 being the best. And everything that I take into account is going to be the fit, the finish, the performance, the ergos, and aesthetics. Also, I take into account the price point on these. Ferramonster is not the cheapest that you'll see out there. There are, a few other companies that are going to be able to offer this stuff to you at a lower price, but I do think the finish on here does justify that. So am I saying that those other knives are lesser finish? No, not at all. I think that they are very comparable. I will say, let's just take my limited edition Militao, right? That one is going to be a hand rub satin finish, and you're getting the black wash blade with the inlay in there. And the inlay is taking a little extra time on that for sure, and the hand rubbed also. And that's punching it up over $200. This one here coming in mid 200s with the milling and everything that you have going on here is understandable, but I have a discount code. So when you use my link, it lets them know that my channel sent you to them, which helps the channel. Obviously, it doesn't cost you anything extra. And then they gave me a discount code for my followers and viewers to be able to use to get an additional 10% off on this one. So I think that was nice of them to do. And I only agree to work with companies that give products that I feel confident in recommending, that I enjoy and think that they're doing quality work, and not just because they're offering me a discount code to pass on to you. I'm not going to work with a company if I don't believe in what they're doing. And sometimes there's companies that I would love to work with that don't offer affiliate programs, which I think is very unfortunate, because there are some things out here that I really do like that I think affiliate programs would be awesome, because it helps to be able to recommend those and get a little bit of a kickback based off those recommendations to you guys. But it doesn't prevent me from making those recommendations. I'm just saying it would be beneficial, because then I can use it to buy more of their products. And if I like it, recommend it, or if not, let you know why I don't. And there's been a few. If you saw my recent Jack Wolf video on the Tango, you probably understand why, but this is one that I can easily recommend. I am going to go 8.5 on this one. I think it's beautifully done, excellent fit and finish. I don't really fault them for the pocket clip. I think it's tough to pull off something that is this intricate, and the pocket clip worked really well. But ergos, very comfortable. Lock bar access, good. Weight, good. I mean, I'm surprised it is that high of a weight, because it is seriously hollowed out in here. I would say if you didn't want to do a shim, I think what the shim really accomplished here is it kind of got it off of the scale a little bit. I'm going to actually take this off later and get rid of the tap. But I think that's really what it's doing, is just kind of raising it up enough, because you can see they did sort of do a little bit of a landing pad on here, but it's also right there where the lock bar is. So I think if they would have angled this up a little bit more, I don't know if I can, there we go. I think if they would have angled it up a little bit more, maybe you can see that landing pad now. I think that would have helped it a lot. I also do think because it's on the shim, that's probably why. Oh, you can really see it now. I think you can really see it now. I think that the milling on here is why that pocket clip wasn't working as best as it could on my thicker pair of jeans. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think about the Aurora Rays. I really like this knife and it is an easy recommendation for me. Anyway, let me know what you think about this one down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing to the channel, guys. And a special shout out to my channel members. You guys are amazing. Without y'all's support, this channel would not be able to continue on. That's it for me today. Thank you for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a great week. Peace.